the relative big and centered display in the ENYAQ is perfectly when it comes to entertainment. So when you're charging up, when you're having a break, or simply waiting for someone, it would be nice to have entertainment on it, like streaming services, Netflix, Disney Plus and stuff like that, or some games or apps or whatsoever. But unfortunately, in the ENYAQ, nothing of this is available. No matter the generation, whether you have a software version 3, 4 or 5, you have none of them. And despite all the promises from Volkswagen and Skoda, who no one believes right now anymore, I think nothing is there. Not even Spotify. Well, there's the announcement of Volkswagen that midst of September, so basically now, Air Console, which offers casual gaming, will come to the ID.7. But only the ID.7, we never heard that this will come to other cars right now. So let's see if this works out. But what can you do if you want Netflix, gaming and other entertainment in your ENYAQ? And with that, hello friends of the electrified charging fun, and welcome to Speicher Elektrisiert Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility and the Skoda ENYAQ. My name is Matthias, and today we are talking about such a system, such a little box, which might help you to get all of your entertainment needs into your Skoda ENYAQ. Because that is one request I often received from you, my viewers. Could you make a review of such a box and explains if it works and how it works and what we can do with it? And basically this video will cover exactly this, and if you're interested in that, then have fun. To find the right product to show you, I did what was the best choice for me. I asked you, those who wrote emails, those who did comments, I asked you what product, what manufacturer would you recommend for this, because to be honest, there are so many of those boxes on the market. I even asked in a German ENYAQ forum, and the brand which got mentioned most often is the one I finally have here, and it's basically this little box here. It's an T-Box Ambient from CarLinkit or CarLinkit, or however you pronounce the manufacturer. Before we look into the box, just a simple disclaimer. I'm not a fan of those, therefore I had my doubts to make such a video. And I postponed that video for a long time. And basically, maybe after this video, I see the needs even for me for such a box, but I would never buy one. And here we go. The other thing is, if you do such a video, it smells like advertising, because basically that is what it is. This is an advertising video. I've got that box for free from the manufacturer. So just to be honest to you, because I would not buy such a product for that money, because I don't have the use case. And therefore, yes, this is advertising. And when I put the link to the manufacturer to the box below, this is not an affiliate link. I decided against this. I did not want to be part of his affiliate program, but where to get the box and what to pay for it, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Now let's have a look inside of this box, because basically there's not much in this little box, just another box. And within this box, you find the Android system, the Android box, this little black thing here. You've got an USB-C connector for the power and the connection to the car. You've got an USB-A connector for accessories. Then you'll get an USB-C to USB-C cable. Within the box, there's a USB-A to USB-C cable and a small instruction manual. And basically what you need for your ENYAQ is the box, obviously, and this USB-C cable. Now let's plug the box in and look at the setup. Installing the box is super simple. Basically, put the USB-C cable on one side in the box and the other down there to your ENYAQ. And the reason why I'll plug it in the front and not the rear USB ports has to do with this little plate here from metal. You see already the symbol. This gets quite hot. We talk about that later. It's one of my biggest critique points, and I do not want to have it loosely hang around at the rear USB ports and then melting some plastic or whatsoever. And so you plug in the USB cable. and there you see a slot, the upper one, for a SIM card. You can put in a SIM card, you don't have to. You can also use your Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, I'll show you later. And the second slot there is an extension card slot where you can extend the 128 gigabyte of memory in the box if this is not enough for you. And basically the whole thing is now just to plug it in down there and wait until the box fires up. If you now want to connect the box via SmartLink, simply plug it in. But before you do, just look here. There is a small hole where the button within, and you can use such a SIM card pin puncher, such a needle which is in the box, to push it gently down for about 3 seconds to change the way the box identifies to the car, whether as an Apple CarPlay device, although there's an Android on this Android 13, or as an Android device. And now you can simply plug it in with the USB, and as you can see, nothing is happening here. No light, nothing. And you think, what is happening right now? Basically, it has a bit more startup time, I think, than a software version 3 ENYAQ, but don't get panicked. At a certain point in time, it will lit up. And there you go, now it got fancy blue, and it will change the colors all the way right over and over, and it's connected now. Don't worry, you can deactivate the color of the box so you don't have to see it. And there you go, the system is booting up right now, and now you've got a warning: please do not use this device while driving, do not watch videos while driving, and I can only recommend do what they state there. Do not use it while driving. I bet it's illegal in your country and you will get heavily fined if you do so. Agreed and accept. And there you go. Basically, it's a complete Android 13 system in your ENYAQ right now, only limited by the upper and lower bar, which will never disappear in your ENYAQ. They are fixed. But the rest is simply an Android system, like in your smartphone, but without a display, the battery and the camera. And before we dig into what is possible with the system, let's see how you can connect this one with the internet. As you can see, I've got 4G. I'm connected with a SIM card. Let's go to the settings here. And there you go. Under Wi-Fi, you see right now I have my Sunrise mobile provider, but you can tap here and then just select any Wi-Fi you wish to use. Basically, you can now use the hotspot from your smartphone or even your Wi-Fi at home to download things faster, whatever you want. And then you're already online. But there's one important thing. After I put in the SIM card, the whole system wouldn't boot up anymore. And I had no clue what was going on until it made click, and the problem is the pin on your SIM card. As long as my SIM card had a pin, this box simply did not want to boot up. So I put the SIM card back into my phone, go to the SIM card settings, deactivate the pin code, put it back in, and then the box magically starts up and works with the SIM card. So yes, this little advice just for you. If you want to use a SIM card and run into the same problem I had, deactivate the pin on the SIM card. And then you're online, and now you can use the whole system right here. One question could be, how can I use this system, the Android system, and my system from the Skoda ENYAQ, and maybe even my own Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on my phone? Well, you can use all three of this, but only if you have a SIM card in the device down there. If you use the hotspot from your smartphone, you use the Wi-Fi connection for the hotspot, so you can't use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on this device. You can only switch between this one and the car's own software. But if you have a SIM card, you can use all three systems, and I will show you how. First, how to go back to your standard car system. Well, it's quite easy, just hit home and you're in your standard car system, and then you can come back here. And if you want to use your smartphone, you have an app called AutoKit, this one right here. And with the app AutoKit, you can use your smartphone with a Bluetooth connection. So you need to make the connection with Bluetooth smartphone to the box. And there you go. Now I have my native Apple CarPlay. I can make the complete use of this Apple CarPlay. There I have my standard system from the Skoda ENYAQ. And there, when I want to go back, I'll show you quickly. You've got that small button up here, which always gives you access to the box. Hit home, and I'm back in the box. And this is the way how you can operate all three systems at once if you want. But again, don't use this system while driving. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, in my opinion, is much better. Why? Because I never managed to get those systems to interoperate with my car. So basically, if I do a navigation here, the navigation is not shown in the cockpit display, is not shown in the head-up display. In Apple CarPlay, for me, this works, and in the Skoda ENYAQ itself, this also works. But not all functions are not working. Basically, you can use the steering wheel controls to control the Android Auto, but in rather unusual ways. So, for example, you can use the left scroll wheel on your steering wheel to stop titles, but they won't start after hitting it again. You can use also the long press on the voice assistant button to get the Google pendant of a voice assistant, and you can also move forward or backward through titles. So there is a rudimentary connection. Some things are working, some things don't. And for me, one showstopper is that I do not get the navigation information over to my car. But that's not the use case for me with this box. This box for me has another use case, and that is to be entertained while I make a break, while I charge or do anything else. I don't intend to use the box while driving. If that is your use case, then you might dig into other topic than this video, but I will focus on entertainment while the car isn't driving. Now let's talk a bit about the basics of this system. This is an Android 13 system, and it basically works like some Android 13 system. Let's first go to settings. And as you can see now, it is German. If you want to change the language, it's system, Sprache in my case, or language, and just put the language you want on first place, like we want English. Now you might see that white dot again. We'll talk about that in a second. Now the complete system is English. Well, here's a lot of things you can adjust. Next up is LED color settings. If you go there and hit that slider, the box will no longer glow. There's one specific setting I want to talk about if you want to use this system for navigation. And that is that it is highly recommended to use the in-car GPS signal for the navigation instead of the GPS signal of your smartphone or the box. And you find it under Other. Then you need to go down, Factory Settings, and the pin is 4545. Enter. Wait a second, hit Other, and there is the option, Use in-car GPS. Activate this one and hit Save. And then the box will use the in-car GPS signal. Let's talk about that small dot up here. You can move it via drag and drop where you want it, and that small overlay provides you with several quick access functions, like going to the home page, this one, or like the third here, you maybe already know from your Android phone, is show all open apps. You can clear all or simply swipe them to kill them. Or this one here, which clears all unnecessary processes and frees up memory space. Or even the last one here, which brings you directly to the car menu. This is the same as this one, where you're jumping over to the car system. But as you already know, you can do it with the home button. And that is basically it for the system. I don't want to dig deeper into it, and I will not talk about navigation applications and things you can do on an Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, because basically you have it, so use it. In this video, we will talk about the additional functionality of this system, which all the others cannot provide. Well, let's talk apps now, because that's why you're here. The most important app on the whole system basically is the Play Store, because there you have the endless possibilities of all apps, games and stuff you wish to have in your car, or basically on the box below and therefore in your car. I made a test account for all of this, and it's quite funny when you see a complete new test account with no history what you get recommended. So don't be scared on what you see here, but basically you can install whatever you like. And therefore let's start with the first couple of apps, and let's talk about email and browsing. I've got Gmail here with my test account. I sent me 2 mails, and if you look into this one here, basically this was the mail from the provider, from the manufacturer of the box. You see, this is the link down in the description for the box I have, and when you tap it, you will see a web browser opens, and you will get the link opened and see the box I have. And basically, why is it so slow? It's due to my internet connection. It's not the best right now. And there you go. This is the box I have in my car. This is the box where everything is running on, this one right here. And about this processor, about this CPU, we will talk later, but you see what's built in there. So yes, you've got mail, you can write, you can answer, you can read. Whatever you like. Then let's go over to the web browsing. And I've installed 3 web browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Brave. So use the browser you like. Let's use Chrome here. And if we fire up Chrome, you see nothing is set up really. Everything is still current. I've searched a couple of words. Let's search Skoda. And yes, Skoda is an automobile manufacturer. Let's hit the Swiss Skoda website. There we go. This is, and now we could configure an ENYAQ or something like that, but basically you can web browse with the browser you like. Now let's move on to something more important here, and this is entertainment. And basically, of course, you can use apps like YouTube Music or Spotify, but you've got those in CarPlay and Android Auto. You're here for watching videos. You already saw in the intro that you can use YouTube, but of course you can use all your streaming services you like Netflix and Disney Plus and Sky and whatever they are called. So I made a new profile called ENYAQ, and there you go. Netflix is booting up. And of course you can use the mobile games in Netflix, and you can watch all your movies and whatever you like. And I tried it with this one right here. So let's go there. There you go. And I have to cut down the audio. And now hit play again. And yes, I have Netflix up and running. It's smooth, you can watch it. And the format is due to the videos aspect ratio. So basically, therefore, you have the black bars left and right and not the whole screen. But we can go to another video. So if you would use a video with another aspect ratio like this one here, you will see it will use more of the screen's real estate. And there you go. Now the video is much wider. So basically, yes, it's very easy to watch movies in your ENYAQ. This should be it for now for entertainment purposes. Now let's move on to another domain, the domain of mobile gaming. And I'm not a mobile gamer. I have no clue what games to play and what should you do. So basically, I just picked 2 from the top charts. And well, this is already known in anywhere, so basically you can't go wrong with this one. Just to show you, you've got full screen now, and you can really play them really well on the touch screen the Skoda has. So here we go, we hit play. Play. There you go. It's rather easy to play. Yes, this is nice, so let's do this one. I think you have seen enough. You can play casual games, but of course you could also play something else. Let's choose this one right here, where it is Subway Surf. I'm really bad at this, so normally I only play for 10 seconds until the cop catches me. If you know that game, it needs a bit to load due to the rather old CPU in it, but it works well. And you can see that the touch screen really allows you to play this game. Yeah, whatever. Let's play. You see, you can jump, you can evade, everything is working. And now let's hit the... There you go. I think this is enough to showcase you mobile gaming on your ENYAQ. And now let's go for the last category, and this is mobile launchers. There you have, I installed 3 of those. Well, basically it's about how is the main screen looking. Maybe you know the Microsoft launcher for Android Auto. No, I don't want to set it as default. And then it would look something like this if you prefer home, like this. Or there are even more specific ones. As far as I know, the Nova launcher is a well-known launcher in the Android Auto or in the Android space, not Android Auto. I have no idea because I'm Apple user. And then there's a rather specific shady one. I installed only the free version here, Car Launcher Free. I'm not sure if this is something which is good or not, but as you can see, you can alter this startup interface to your delight and use whatever you want. Of course, you could connect third-party devices like this cheap game controller here. I have no Xbox, I have no PlayStation, so therefore I bought this rather cheap one to showcase this to you. This works with Bluetooth, so you could connect this game controller via Bluetooth, or you use the USB dongle, and therefore you have the USB-A port on the box. So plug in the dongle, wait until the controller here connects, and it already does. There you go. Now you've got that yellow frame and you can navigate with the controller through everything. And of course you could use the controller to use the system, to play games, to do whatever you like. So basically a lot of third-party devices could be plugged into your box, to your T-Box Ambient, and you can use it with your box here. Well, a lot of stuff around this box you've already saw is quite good. You can play games, you can use apps, you can browse the web, you can watch movies. But there's also some stuff I do not like about the box. And one thing is the long startup time. As I already said, software version 3 in the ENYAQ is booting faster than this little box. And it doesn't have a lot of performance. It's good performance, but certain games will not run very smooth and the box gets hot very fast. Talk about that in a second. And basically this is due to the CPU used. It's an old one from 2017, but if you want the latest top performing CPU, you would pay much more for the box than you already do. So yes, performance is not the best, but it's sufficient. But with that performance and the maximum usage of this performance comes heat. And heat is a real problem with this box. So basically, we've got the heat sink here, I already shown you, and this is getting very, very hot. You can boil eggs on this one, really. And therefore, I only put it like this in the car, so this is up, because I'm afraid that this will burn the plastic, I don't know. You can't touch it when it's running games or for a longer time a movie, and the whole box gets really hot, so the coolant of the box is not very well engineered. And basically I really think that this heat might also affect performance. Then there's the rather bad connection with the car. You maybe saw it when I showed you the movies. To mute the video, I could not use the steering wheel. I had to go over the little icon in the display, and when I muted it, it stopped playing. I had to hit play again, and so the interconnection between the car and the box is not the best. It's not near Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but I don't think that it was the key value proposition of this box. This is a system for its own. It's an Android system and your car is one. And for the use cases I see, this is perfectly fine. But yes, there could be more. And now let's come to the last part, and that is, this is a niche product for me, and therefore it's quite expensive. It's not a cheap box, and it's already one of the cheaper ones, therefore the smaller CPU. But just to watch some movies in the car, or just to play some games, you pay a high price for this, at least from my opinion. But in the end, this box gives you something Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and Volkswagen Carriot or Skoda doesn't provide you: the freedom of choice. Because you are able to pick whatever you like from the App Store, and you can't when you only rely on the apps you get here within the system. But in the end, for me, the price for the value you have might be a bit pricey, depending on what value you find in this little box. Now you've got it. This is one way to enhance the experience in your ENYAQ. It's a pricey one, but in the end, it serves its purpose, and it is doing the job it has to do. So basically, if you're searching for something like this, such a box might be beneficial to you. And there are dozens of those boxes out there. If you know a better one than this, then write in the comments for the others so they can have a look, because I will not test many of them. I have shown you one. That one is working. It's a good mainstream box. It's not the best one, it's not the priciest one, so here you go. Of course, it can only use the display as much as it is possible, like you saw with the videos, and it got its flaws, like the heat or everything else. But if you know all around this, I think you can make yourself your own decision whether you get one or not. And if you want to get one, I would suggest first look at auction platforms or at websites, second-hand websites, where you can get them for a bargain as a second-hand product, because there are always people selling their boxes. Then more often you will find it cheaper on the manufacturer's website. Link down, no affiliate link. I do not want to have that affiliate program. Please do your research before you purchase this box and ask yourself if you really need something like this for your use cases. And please leave a subscription if you find my videos helpful, because that helps me way more than buying anything. We are an affiliate program. And then we'll see each other in the next video, and until then, stay full of energy.